China is a very old civilization and was always a very prosperous civilization. I think the idea is that China was able to go back to the roots of its civilization and able to build a technologically advanced and prosperous new China. So I prefer the word rebirth because miracle seems to suggest that it was a gift from the gods or from heaven, and it was not. It was made by the Chinese people, the incredible progress of the last 40 years in particular. I think two examples. First, of course, the elimination of poverty. First time I came to China 20 years ago, and you compare to now, is the difference is almost two different countries. You used to see 20 years ago people on the street begging, and you could see that there was in some parts outside the big cities real poverty. And now if you travel even to small towns far away from Beijing, in Yunnan or other provinces far away, you can see that poverty has been basically eliminated. And then the second story, I think, has to do with technology, that now China has such advanced technology on payments, mobile payments, artificial intelligence. You go to the airport and you can just use your face to see where your gate is or to withdraw money. And these are actually things that don't exist in Europe. So sometimes it feels when you go from China to Europe that you're going back in time. Last year I lived in Beijing for 1 year, and I could not open a WeChat account because last year you still needed a Chinese credit card. Now it's changed, you can use a foreign credit card. But so I went to a restaurant and I paid with cash, and the waiters had to go look for change in some old drawer looking for money because they didn't have cash in their pockets anymore. So I think it's quite remarkable, these changes. Many things, I think. Hard work. You could see over the past 20, 30 years, people worked really hard, and maybe your parents' generation worked even harder than your generation, and maybe your grandparents even harder. Then I think reforms, we all know these stories about opening up and reform, and that gave a push because hard work is not enough if you don't have a framework of good policies and good reforms. I think that was very important. Understanding globalization, opening up to the world, becoming the factory of the world, it was all very important. We opened a new consulate in Guangzhou to try to have more economic links. And there are many projects about ports, about railways, about telecommunication infrastructure, 5G. So things are moving, even though it's only 1 year since we joined the Belt and Road. What I hear, I was in Portugal last week, what I hear is there are a lot more exports to China in some products that we are very good in and China is interested. Meat, perhaps in the future wine. So I think Portugal is important for the Belt and Road and will become more and more important. Now, thinking about the future, President Xi Jinping will go to Macau this week, I think, and I know he will announce many reforms and plans. And I think the idea is that Macau should become more diversified, not so much the gambling industry and the casinos. Could become a tourism center, big tourism center, beautiful town, a Portuguese style, 500 years old, in the middle of China. That's unique in the world, and also financial center could be very important in the future.